Shah Rukh Khan's most recent big-screen adventure has been putting together and starring in Ra 1, described as India's most expensive film to date. It's a superhero picture laden with state-of-the-art special effects. It opened strongly at the box office. Although the special effects were seen as impressive, some critics thought it weak in terms of its storytelling. For Shah Rukh Khan, the concept of a superhero has long had appeal.
I come from a lower middle-class background, always wanted to be a superhero. I didn't know what excuse to use to make a film of this genre, which is not very popular in India. Science fiction come superhero. And didn't have the budgets, or I didn't have the status, or even the resources. And then my children grew up, so I found the excuse first. And now I can say my kids would want a film like this. But actually, the truth is I wanted to make one. That after having worked so many years in the industry, having got all that I exist because of, I think it's time I did something which makes everyone else in the world, Indians, everyone from the subcontinent, feel, oh wow, this is a cool looking Indian film.
Clearly, I mean, from what you're telling me, it is an indigenous Indian film, but to what extent is it a response to Hollywood? Because Hollywood films are coming into the Indian market, superhero films that have a very high standard of special effects. Has that been a factor at all?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I would be able to say this without batting an eyelid, that the comparisons, if they are made, if we keep the fact that obviously we have not, we don't have those kind of budgets, but within that limitation also all the effects will be international quality. I mean, that I'm very, very clear of. That's the first thing we wanted to do. There should be no excuse for saying, oh, for an Indian film it's good. I want every youngster, third generation around the world from the subcontinent to feel very proud of it. So you know what? Yeah, we know Bollywood is kids, yeah, we have song and dancing, we're a little over the top, but you know, we make really cool looking films. So the film is very good looking on that front. The effort for this film is to retain the Indian audience first, which the world is looking at. And you know, we should not ignore that. We need to make sure that we look at that audience first, which the world is looking at. And of course, as the international studios are coming in, my thing to everyone as a producer is, listen, you give me the technology and the screenplay know-how so I can better my Indian films, not allow just those films. You're most welcome to come and show your films and be very happy with your free nation, and we love your films. But we need to retain our Indian film viewership intact, because that's one of the only entertainment things we have in this country.
India, with all its richness and vibrancy and humanity, is depicted in Bollywood films. But Shah Rukh Khan has taken note of how outsiders portray his country. 3 years ago, the hugely popular Oscar-winning Slumdog Millionaire presented a big international audience with images of India. It was a British-made film that wasn't uniformly liked in India, with many viewing it as Mumbai seen through the prism of Western eyes. Slumdog Millionaire, incredibly successful film, but some people maintain that that film was really selling the sadness of India. What's your take on that?
I'd be hypocritical if I say, yeah, because I was going to make that film. I had wanted to purchase it to make it in my production house with myself, because I was doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire at that time. I was hosting the show. So I wanted to make it. Now, if I wanted to make it in India, for India, I don't think I can say that, yeah, it sold the sadness of the country. I thought I like the smartness of the film. I like the simplicity that 10 questions, and somehow those 10 things have happened to you in life. Of course, when a Western filmmaking unit comes to India, they are not actually trying to sell. See, when a Western film comes down to India, they're actually not trying to sell the sadness of India. They're just so amazed by the difference in lifestyles of Indians and in the West. Western world coming and selling whatever intrigues them is fair, but an Indian selling the sadness of India, I think is unfair. Because I should be telling and showcasing the other aspects of India, because I know India well enough. I know that India is not just that. It's not on the face of it, this shocking truth. There are some other truths also which perhaps you don't know. So Slumdog as such, I thought the story was nice. I wanted to make it myself.
Have you ever been tempted to try to build up a career in Hollywood? I mean, Bollywood you have conquered, but what about Hollywood, the American film industry?
There are two things, Tom. One, I don't think anybody is looking for an actor who's 45 years old, who's brown, who speaks English kind of all right without the accent. And I don't have any special thing to offer. You know, a Jackie Chan has. I don't think I have anything special to offer to Hollywood, which it already doesn't have, and even better, whether it's Mr. Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise or Johnny Depp. You have actors of that age group who are fantastic, so they don't need anyone from here unless somebody is doing a film about an Indian and they need an Indian character, Indian actor to play the character, then maybe I would get a chance. I've got a script, and I would love to. I would love to. It's a good script. But it's not to make inroads into Hollywood. I would just do it because it's based in India, and it'd be great to work with all these great people. But one is that reason. So I've never had an agent or a manager, or even when I've been offered, I'm like, no, listen, I'm not going there for 6-8 months and just doing a film where I have to speak like an Indian. I don't want to do that. There were some roles which are offered like that. So I love Peter Sellers having done that, but I don't like doing it myself. The second part is, I'm really, because of the 20 years of consistent success, if I can call it that I've received, or I've been able to work without a break, I have now started believing that I can be one of those leading filmmakers from my country who can make a purely Indian film and get the whole world to watch it.
That's quite a challenge, though, isn't it? I mean, you have not really had a film like that that's been able to cross over to satisfy audiences in the West and in India.
Yeah, but like I said, that's why the wishes should be like that. It should be like a big wish. It should be an unachievable wish. So I'll keep tirelessly working towards that. And I also feel we can't be making... I don't want to sell the poverty and the culture and the snake charmers of India. I want to sell the educated middle class of India. I want to tell them there's a lot of intelligence here, intellect here, rich here, happiness here, colorful culture here.
Do you think that there are difficulties with Indian storytelling, not for people in India, but that don't translate easily to Western audiences?
Yeah, I think our screenplay technique needs to improve a lot more. We do a film in 3 acts. The Western world is used to seeing it in 2 acts. Songs, we make musicals. That format needs to change. We can still have the music, but maybe not so obtrusively in your face dancing on the streets maybe. But all that can change, and we can still retain the music and everything. But I do believe the Western audience likes to be told. They are more video literate. There's more video literacy, I think, in the Western audience. They've been exposed to more video than the Indians have been. So we do spend a lot more time. We are less brief in storytelling than the Western audience. I think, yes, if we want to sell a film, a dream overseas, internationally, it'll have to be initially written by screenplay writers from the West. So I think, yes, 100%, the screenplay writing and storytelling technique, I'm not saying the stories we have fantastic, but that technique will have to be adapted to the Western style of listening to a story.
Well, it's been a great pleasure listening to you, and thank you very much indeed. Is there one musical sequence that you're particularly proud of that we could use to actually finish off our interview with you?
I'm very thrilled with Chaiya Chaiya in a film called Dil Se. It's atop a train without any harnesses, and I've danced my heart out.
चल छैया 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 चल छैया 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 चल छैया 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 चल छैया 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 चल छैया 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 चल छैया 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 सारे इश्क की छाँव चल छैया छैया सारे इश्क की छाँव चल छैया पाँव जन्नत चले चल छैया छैया पाँव जन्नत चले चल छैया चल छैया 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 चल छैया 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 चल छैया 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 छैया